We are the Guinea Pig Collective. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Cliffjumper, what are you doing? I've gone dead center in my viewfinder.
When you saw the defendants, were you wearing your glasses?
I want all of you boys to be able to look me straight in the eye one more time and say, are we having fun or what?
By taking some time out of our daily lives to sit down and have a little chat.
I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Let's do it.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to another Cage Talks, where each time we sit down and we converse with a different creator, asking questions to get to know them better, to understand a little bit more of what makes them tick and what actually brought them into the online world. For so many of these people, there are a whole bunch of different reasons why they decided to get started and do this thing on whether it's Rumble, whether it's Odyssey, whether it's YouTube or anywhere else. Why did they get started and what it actually is that drives them to do this kind of stuff? Because it's not for everybody. That is pretty much is painfully obvious for quite a few of us. I know for myself, I am the most hated guinea pig online, and I get stymied at every turn. And it's a kind of question, well, why do I keep beating my head into the wall and keep doing this when it is obvious that they are never going to allow me to push past what I've been doing? And you know what? But I am ever so grateful for all the people that always stop in and watch all the live streams, all the people that stop in and watch the videos, and especially leave all those comments. It does mean an awful lot. And it is the reason that I do it. I do it for the interaction. Not everybody does it for the same reason. Some people actually do it for their own ego. And I've seen quite a few of those people. And a lot of those people are the type of people that I wind up distancing myself from over the 5 years that I've actually been on YouTube. Vinny, what are you doing? Get out of here. I didn't bring you in yet. God damn it. Jumping the gun. See this guy? What the knife on this guy? Today in the hot seat, we will be joined by our guest. Yeah, he already jumped in. It's Vinnieart. What's going on, Vin?
Well, we're waiting.
Hello. My bad. Yeah, my timing was a little bit off. I just got in. But yeah, how's everybody doing tonight?
Everybody seems to be doing fine, guys out there in chat. Remember to go ahead and share the links out there to let everybody know where we're going, because YouTube and the games. Oh God, man. Prepared for this one early as always, so everybody would have a little bit of a heads up. Actually did put out some promotion for this earlier on Twitter too, but yeah, you know how it is. It's always the games. It's always the games. Chaos Hoy, Adam Shawhan already hanging out in the chat. Everybody else that pops in, welcome. Hang out, have a little fun as we're getting ready to delve into it. Hey, what's up, memes? Good to see you, buddy. So let's get started. This one is pretty simple. If you guys are watching this one for the first time, you're going to catch on really quick how this one works. So here we go.
What happened to then?
We passed it.
When?
Just now. We're at now.
Go back to then.
When?
Now.
Now?
Now.
I can't.
Why?
We missed it.
When?
Just now.
So the first question is always the easiest. Well, it is for most people. It's a simple one. When did you first make your channel?
Originally, I think it was like 09. But I didn't start using it again, like for streams and stuff until 2018-ish, I think. Somewhere around there, 2018 or 2019.
So it's kind of like that getting started period and then take some time away for it. Because I know I've talked to a lot of other people. They started their channels really early. They weren't exactly sure what they wanted to do on it. So they just kind of took a break from it and walked away for a while. Would you say?
Well, I did it for the YouTube thing anyway. And then like I had an idea for like making some kind of content and then never really got around to doing it. Not until I started doing the crowdfunding stuff. And then I'm like, okay, we just got to just dive in. So.
Well, that kind of leads into our second question, then, Vinny. We're just going to bump out the first two questions really quick.
Why so serious?
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
So, yeah, that leads right into why exactly did you create your channel? Did you create it solely for the purpose of the comic book related stuff, or was there another reason? I know a lot of people get started with their channels. Some people, they're just getting started because they want to go on, they want to be able to chat with other people. Other people actually have a specific reason why they started their channel. Like maybe there was one thing that really pissed them off or something that they really enjoyed. They decided they want to talk about. What was yours?
Yeah, well, I originally, like I said, when I first started jumping into YouTube and all that crap, it's because I did want to teach a couple of like drawing lessons and stuff like that. I just was very unaware of how to do it. Didn't have any of the editing type stuff, the stuff you'll need to actually teach a class. So, yeah, I didn't really know too much about it, but I know I wanted to do it. And then like I started jumping on other people's streams to kind of do like promotion for my books and stuff and my artwork. And then I started getting, learning the ropes, I guess, on how to do stuff. And yeah. And then when, Chris Fisk, he helped me out with one of the editing programs and kind of give me a couple little pointers on how to work it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I just dove into that, from that point.
Do you ever get that feeling? I know a lot of people I've talked to, they kind of get that feeling that they've kind of just been dropped into it. You know what I mean? Like with no heads up, no warning. Like, okay, how do I navigate all this stuff?
Yeah, what the hell were we using? Because it wasn't StreamYards.
Google Hangout, maybe?
Yeah, Google Hangout, I think it was. And like attached with the OBS. Yeah, it was really strange. That's why I was jumping on mostly other people's channels and stuff like that. And then like when StreamYards kind of came around, I'm like, okay, this is a lot easier. So yeah, I just went, yeah, let me start, helping out other people and promoting shit. Because that's sort of how my channel started. It was mostly that. I was kind of showcasing other independent creators. And then kind of, shitting on the mainstream, for the crap that they pulled. Because there's a lot of snakes in those industries.
Yeah, there definitely are. Chaos knows, yeah. The far left. Scrambles, Scrambles, we got to get you up here one day. I got to reach out to memes too. We got to get memes up here. The chick I used to watch stream, she talked me into doing live streams. And I know a lot of people that were like that as well. They had somebody to talk to into. But I mean, yeah, you started in and you're basically helping out fellow creators. Because, I mean, anybody doesn't know, if you're a creator and if you are not a hot commodity, at the time, your name tends to get a little bit forgotten. Doesn't matter what work you did in the past. If you're not on top right at that moment, you kind of almost get forgotten to a small degree. So being a creator is like just getting back into it again or starting over from scratch. To be able to just reach out and help other creators, I think is one hell of a commitment.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you didn't have any kind of mainstream name, it's way difficult. Like I didn't have any mainstream name. I worked for a couple of those people. I worked for those companies. McFarlane. I did some stuff for Toy Biz. A couple of different places. The statue stuff, the Diamond Select, Randy Bowen. I did work with that stuff, but like I'm not someone who was like a household name or anything. So coming into this, it was like pulling teeth, but yeah, same with that with a lot of other people. So I'm like, hey, if we could kind of jump on each other's channels, I could probably do some good, So I got attention from a certain how shall I say, gay frog. So I popped on a couple of those streams, and yeah, man, when you see what these people are and how much that they lie to individuals, I'm like, yeah, this was dirty. It felt dirty. So I went back to kind of doing mostly my own shit. And then, over time, people kind of saw what he was. And you'll have your sycophants and you'll have the people who open up their eyes to the bullshit, And basically for me, it's, if people don't deliver or they can't keep their word, then they're not worth the time of day. And they're out for other shit. So yeah, you act like someone from the far left, and I don't want to deal with you. It's kind of that simple.
It really is very important, especially as being a creator, which I know that you're well aware of. It's really important not only to be able to keep your word, but to be able to deliver on time and deliver a quality product, because nobody wants to have to pay for a product and get substandard. Nobody does. I don't care what it is. When you go there and you buy something, you want to get what you think that you're paying for every single time. And I could tell you just from my own experiences. I know Adam has gone on for weeks and months, years on end. And he can tell you how happy he is with everything that he's gotten from you as well. And that's just two people. That's not numerous other people that we've spoken to that have been completely satisfied with all the work that they've gotten from you. And there, like I've said before, there are other creators that do the same thing. They put the work out there. They give you quality. If there's a problem, they will reach out to you and they will do the best that they can to actually correct the problems.
Yep.
A Dig Outlaw hanging in chat. What's going on, Doc? What's up,
Hey,
Cotton?
Doc.
And what's up, T. Hillam?
What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Without the far left, it wouldn't be as fun before, right?
Well, because here's the thing, too, man, with all the shit that's kind of happened. So when I started going on those streams before I got on any larger channels, whatever, again, and I just kind of shoot from the hip. If you see me at a convention, like the kind of conversations we have, it's the same conversations as I usually have when I'm doing those live streams and stuff. But the first couple I went on, I was like, yeah, people want to know more of my background. And like, how come I haven't been like on these top tier titles and stuff with those Marvel or DC and whatnot? I said, because it's all about the internal politics bullshit. And I started getting a little more vocal about that and some of the people who did me wrong. And it's the same people who destroy the industry. Your Joe Quesadas, those type of people, editors and other people who shouldn't be there, essentially. And so I started getting some attention with that, because when Through the Woods came out, that's when they started to sick their paid attack dogs. If you remember, like what the hell is it? Ren something?
Oh, Renfamous.
Yeah, whatever that thing was. So like, she tried to attack me and other people, but I found out later on she was being paid directly from Joe Quesada. Joe Quesada was also in cahoots with the Gay Frog. They were friends for the longest time, making bets on people's campaigns. I'm like, this is really weird, because they push lefty shit, those companies. Those people hate everyone in this scene. So why was that happening? That's when I started questioning it from the beginning. That's why I'm like, yeah, let me focus on my own stuff, because these people are all full of shit. And, time kind of told the truth with all that.
It really is a sad state of affairs. Like most of these people that said that they were out for something different, and they turn out to be exactly the same as the establishment in many points. Because a lot of these guys earlier on were talking about, hey, it shouldn't take this long to get a book done. And then what did they turn around and do? 3 years,
Exactly.
4 years, just completely unfulfilled for whatever reason. They might even had the thing done and didn't want to mail it out to anybody. What's going on, Bad Take Bojan? It's good to see you.
What's up? Always good to see you.
No memes. Nobody would ever engage dots on the internet. Everybody's exactly as they seem. Hey, I'm dating a French supermodel. Bonjour. See, told you.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I can't stand, right? It's all the bullshit games that those people played, and all they did was lie to their audience, top to bottom. They try to make fun of people. They try to pull other shit behind the scenes that most fans never even saw. They got little glimpses of it here and there, but they don't know the full extent of, how absolutely disgusting and filthy these people are in terms of business and how they deal with people. And, they make the mainstream look like warm, welcoming people. We'll put it that way. Lots of horse shit. That's why I had done that one stream that got a whole lot of attention when I ripped into them and exposed their asses. Kind of did it on behalf of someone, but on behalf of other creators as well, who all got burnt and fucked over by these people. I said, dude, when is enough enough? And I think that stream opened up a lot of eyes, because around that time I was getting hit up by some pretty big names in private DMs telling me more information that I didn't even want to know, but was really interesting how they basically practice a lot of illegal shit. We'll put it that way. And yeah, that's why like I had to contact the cyber division of the FBI. I think that's what scared them too, because that I was able to have these kind of connections and you know, step up like that.
Well, you know, I think to agree, absolutely that would scare them. But I think a lot of these people, and I see the same thing with a lot of these people that lay copyright claims on music and stuff like that. They are big baddies until they get challenged.
Yeah.
And that challenge, you know, like let's say for myself, if I file an appeal, they might deny the first appeal. And then the second appeal, it's like, hey, these are the rules and regulations which you agreed to follow by when you guys submitted your music to Wondershare or something like that. If it happens to be something from Wondershare that's in question, I said, you agreed to this and now you're breaking it. Here are the rules again. So you remember what they are. If you want to continue claiming this, I need your contact information so I know where to send the information to my lawyer. And usually it's like stuff like that. It scares the shit out of them. And it's the same thing with calling the cyber division. You know, like once they, there's actually people that are going to really challenge us, you know, like that's when you really scare it. Because usually those type of people are bullies. And they will just keep doing it to people until they get challenged.
Well, that's what it is, right? It's those people who are trying to control the narrative. They want to stay at the top. So in this little independent scene and the shit that was kind of happening, they didn't want anyone to surpass them. So if someone was delivering books on time, hardcover books during the height of COVID, while they were making excuses why they couldn't deliver, you know, it's like I was destroying a narrative. So that's why they tried to kick me to the curb and make up stories and shit. And I'm like, well, I don't have any of that stuff. I don't have any of that fucking type of dirt because I was never swimming in the shit with these pigs. I was getting the work done, you know, and that's what they hated. And don't get me wrong, they tried a bunch of times. They tried a bunch of times to try to get to me in different ways. And it never worked because these people, they have no face. They're disgusting and no one knows how to be professional. Everyone's like this desperate, strange mental cases looking for attention or, you know, fill in the blank of whatever the hell their mental defect is. But me, I came into this because I want to produce high quality books. I wanted to make sure fans were going to get what they paid for, and then some, you know, with the caliber that I release. These people don't. They half-ass everything. Even those top books, like they were sitting there, like their colors were using images off of Google and dropping them in the background. They're like, oh, the colors are so great on this book. No, they weren't. They were shit. They were stolen images. They were photos, pixelated ones too. You could flip through some of those books and you could see it's all pixelated, the backgrounds. Because it's all horse shit. That's right. They were all on cocaine or meth.
They absolutely are.
Or both.
Real quick, some of the guys had something to say about that. T-Home29, Cyber Gay Frog. A dig outlaw, but gay frogs are hard to rate and draw. It says spreading misinformation is a hobby. What can I say? Hey, everybody's got to have one. God. Dig Outlaw also says the Master Muppets. Tealum says they wonder why manga outsells their crap. Yeah. Pastor, Master. The song doesn't change in my head. What's going on, Time Prophet? Disney, they take a big part in that as well. Once they bought out Marvel and they just turned it all to shit. You think you're not right. And did y'all know that 12% of the world's population has never seen the moon? And apparently, they have 100 words that mean moon in India.
Well, that 12% of the people, are those kids locked up underground? That's a Friday conversation. Sorry.
Right. Tealum, Iconic Comics has delivered some good graphic novels.
Which one's that?
I am not overly familiar with Iconic.
Is that one? Is that Doug Ernst? Is that? I don't know. I don't really look at much shit, to be honest. The industry kind of turned my stomach, but I know there are some talented people out there. That's for sure. That's why I was showcasing a lot of different ones. You know, up until the point when they turned their back on me because I exposed the top tier douchebags. And then what happened? They all got burned by them. So in the end, who was right? I was. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. All right, we're going to move into our third question here, Vinny. So here we go.
Now I'm really angry. This is Fargan War.
So there's many reasons to get angry while being online, and having a channel or just having an online presence. There could be a lot of reasons that could set somebody off. So what are the drawbacks to online sites for you? What really makes you angry?
Like I said, those fake people, the ones that'll sit there and just smile the whole time while they want to throw daggers at you. Disingenuous people. That gets me really fucking upset. You know, if you can't be a man of your word, then I don't want nothing to do with those type of people. That shit pisses me off. The extreme wokeness in our entertainment, that really fucking sets me off. It's like there's so many people now who are losing their jobs across the board because of this crap. And look what happened to these industries. Now they're replacing everybody with AI, so they could push whatever agenda and all the other shit that they want. You know, I think that's why America voted the way they did, because everything is going to be affected. Those companies can't keep pushing that woke shit anymore. They're losing money rapidly, and they're not going to get those bailouts anymore. So guess what? They're going to have to, get back to what people wanted. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, surprisingly, giving people trash is not sustainable. It's not a sustainable business practice, Disney. Yeah, it's just amazing that they haven't figured it out yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not just Disney, but everything, man. Look at the video game companies. Look at all that stuff. I came from a field where I did a little bit of design and everything. I had weapons designs that made it into a couple of video games. I worked on statues, toys, comics, did storyboard stuff, for independent movies. But I had one taken off the way it should have. But some stuff kind of got in the way of that. But there were giant names involved at the time. And if it took off, yeah, I would have been working on a top tier freaking movie. But, it's just kind of how it is sometimes. But yeah, it's sad to see that whole industry, our entertainment being destroyed. So that's another reason why I'm kind of doing this stuff too. Because we talk about political shit, we talk about all sorts of things, but it's like if there's something that is cool, we do finally talk about it in a more positive light. If there's a show or a movie that did it right, yeah, I'm gonna praise it. I'm gonna let you people know, like, what I thought. Not everyone's gonna agree, and that's fine, even in our own circles. But if the quality's there, it's there. Like Penguin, that's when we covered for a while. We talked about the Godzilla series, Shogun. There's a couple of things that were done right during the mix of all the crazy wokeness and the bullshit. So that type of stuff I dig. Everything else, man, look what happened. Like they're burning down their house and then they're pouring gasoline on the fire. It's so strange what the hell happened.
It absolutely is. And I do see a lot more people are coming around to some of those shows like Penguin and everything. They're starting to see the value that's there. And yeah, like you're saying, the same thing with Monarch. Shogun, I just couldn't get into myself. But I mean, yeah, I know you and Chris and Adam and everybody thoroughly enjoyed it. It just, it was just one of those things that doesn't always sit right with me. It's the same thing with the anime stuff. Some of that stuff I'm going to dig, but there's a lot of it I just don't like. It's just the way it is. I don't hold it against nobody, though, but a lot of these other people do. They expect you to eat trash and like it. But and then when they see something good, they refuse to recognize it a lot of times. So,
yeah, it's wild.
TLM 29, there's always links on all my streams for Vinny's projects. So, if you get to the point where you feel like you can afford it, check it out, by all means do.
Yeah, man, please do. They ship right away. Everything goes out the door right away.
What's going on, Steve? Hi there, Tommy and Vinny, the thumb. Hope you guys are well. Time Prophet says Britain has a woke government. We got two choices of Britain: a woke government or woke government. Can we borrow?
Yeah. Well, he's going to put the fear into a lot of people. So,
I got a question here from Time Prophet for you as well. Has he ever tried animating his drawings?
I haven't, but the thought has come into my head. I've never pulled the trigger on that. In high school, I was accidentally put into an animation class, but I transferred out into the advanced placement. They put me in the wrong thing. I was supposed to have advanced placement art classes, but I didn't learn shit when I did go in there. And part of me was like, well, maybe I should have stayed in animation, because I had a major fight with the teacher and the other thing because she didn't teach shit. I basically did the whole course by myself.
That sucks.
But it's all right. I got the highest score though. She didn't think I'd be able to do it because in that AP class, like there were like two different paths to take. It was one that was going to be drawing and sculpting and other shit, and I just wanted to strictly do the drawing portion of it. And she goes, "There's only like one or two other students that had done that in the past, and like when they had to get the AP college review and all that shit, like no one got past the number, or it was like a 1 to 5 rating thing. I think the highest they ever got was a 3, and I got a perfect score at the end of it. And she called me to apologize, but it was already afterwards. So I'm like, I don't want to talk to that cunt, and then I hung up the phone.
I could absolutely understand that. I've been there quite a few times myself.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's someone who's disingenuous. She tried to lie to me about something, and about like I thought like the artwork I was sending wasn't going to be coming back to me, and she didn't clarify for me. And I said, well, then I'm not going to do it. And she goes, I'll fail you. She wanted to fail me. I found out from another teacher that no, they have to send them back. I said, are you serious? She goes, yeah, they have to. That's part of it. I'm like, well, how come she never told me? She goes, you should go over there and you tell her, like the other teacher, she was the top of her. It was my English teacher or whatever. And she was the head of the department. And she goes, she says, refer to my name or whatever. And so I did. And I said, she said that I'm supposed to get my artwork back. And you didn't tell me I'm supposed to, that was going to happen. She goes, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I said, we had this fight for like 2 weeks straight because you wouldn't tell me directly what was required of me and what was going to come back to me or not. You were ready to fail me. That's why when I agreed upon it, I got the perfect score. And after the fact, she wanted to apologize. And I didn't want to hear your apology. You were going to flunk me, you fucking dirty shit rag.
And see, and this is where I say, when some people talk about the education system, it's only recently been broken. I'm like, no, my friend, it has been broken for a very long time.
Oh yeah,
a very long time.
Yeah.
And we're just seeing the depths of how broken it is now. But it was heading that direction when I was a kid. So I seen it in the early '80s that it was broken.
Oh, for sure, man. It's wild too, because like I said, man, since I was a kid, I saw it. I had to grow up fast because of family situations and stuff, and helping to take care of sick family. So like you could see through a lot of bullshit pretty quickly. I don't know, being from New York and all that too. Maybe that's why I grew up quicker as well, because you gotta know your street smarts and shit. And so I don't know. That's why I don't tolerate that type of stuff, because I've seen it enough times. Especially being an artist, you get a good read on people, especially if you spend some time with them. And yeah, if it's in person, oh man, yeah, I can kind of see through a person right away if they're shit or if they're good. Online's been a little more difficult.
It's a little bit easier for people to hide, be a little bit more deceptive and hide who they truly are. And sometimes they can get away with it for a very long time. Other times, I really do believe it's. Oh God, and I'm blanking on the phrase right now. I had it a little while ago, but it's a certain type of mentality where people have like they followed somebody or they've watched somebody for so long. It's almost like Munchausen's. The Munchausen effect. They don't want to believe that it's true.
Yep.
Even though it's right in front of them, they just don't want to believe it.
Oh, for sure, man, for sure. And especially if they were already semi-famous or something, or there's some kind of an air of superiority about them, or that people think that there's something important. Yeah, then almost like that kind of built-in audience will act a certain way, or if someone has a massive fan base from something else in general. Yeah. And there's other people that really didn't have that fan base, but they act like they do. But we've seen that too, right? They leech off of other people who have really big numbers, and then they think they're the expert on shit when they're not. They're just more scammers.
Oh, what is it? The fake it until you make it.
There's that shit too. Yeah, a lot of people pull now, and that's different from someone who just has confidence and that they're doing. They know they're doing the right thing. They're just pushing hard. That's the type of stuff I respect more, because it's kind of how I've been. Get the work done. do what you could. Make sure you make people's lives a little easier or better. The ones who are doing the opposite, yeah, they can go climb a tree or hump one.
I'm sure there's plenty of them. We're going to jump into the next topic. We've only got 3 more topics here. The end one is the big long one, and that's going to be everything. But before we get to that, we got this.
What did you expect? Welcome, Sonny.
So when you first got into this, especially the online aspect of doing all this stuff, whether it's YouTube and Twitter, did you even have any expectations or goals?
Not really. It was just like if I could grow just with like the content we were putting out there, just talking about not just the projects and stuff, but like some of the classes I started teaching. Because I got like 17 different how to draw things and a couple of live streams. There's 1 or 2 I had to delete because there were some really nasty people that were on there. Yeah, like I was kind of hoping for a little bit more movement on that regard, because I've seen people who do a whole lot worse in terms of like those kind of how to draw things, and they've taken off in a big way. And it's like a lot of them had really poor mistakes too that they did in their lessons. But from what I've seen, I'm like, well, how the hell did they get that kind of traction? But I mean, I don't know. It is what it is at this point. But then I started getting into the toy stuff as well, because that's part of my background in designing action figures for McFarlane and a couple other companies. But yeah, I really thought that some of that would
I would really suggest getting in that in the last topic, like your experiences with McFarlane, because I'm sure there's a lot of people in the chat that would love to hear about that in a little bit more in detail. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, but yeah, I was saying, yeah, I was hoping for a little bit more growth in certain areas for sure. Because like I was starting to pick up a bit with the toy stuff, but that's really difficult to have grow in a certain way. I don't know, for some reason, but again, I think it's the channels that really blew up. I think those are the ones that paid, because we ended up finding out a little bit later that, yeah, YouTube is more of a pay to play type situation.
Yeah, and it's really sad to see that. And I know some people swear it's okay for it. I personally don't like it. I mean, here you're trying to build something and you're investing your time for free on this site. And YouTube is making money off that free time that you're investing, even when you're not monetized. And some people, no, they're not. Yes, they are. Go ahead and watch somebody's channel. It's unmonetized. You watch 2 or 3 videos in a row, you're going to be getting commercials. That means that YouTube is getting paid for your channel with those freaking advertising bumpers that they put in between them. So yeah, YouTube's making money even off unmonetized channels. So why should you have to pay when you're already spending all your own time? And that doesn't include if you have video software, if you've bought StreamYards to be able to do live streams and everything. Like, that's all your time and investment. And that doesn't even include if you're talking about like toys or anything like that, where you're spending your money to get these things to show them off and everything. I mean, while technically you are getting it for yourself, and like for myself, I would be getting it anyway, whether or not I had a channel or not. But that's besides the point, because a lot of times you want to get something extra to be able to show off on stream or show off for toy videos and everything like that. So technically that's still almost considered a cost for your channel, really, because would you have gone out of your way to buy some of these things as quickly as you did if you didn't have a channel?
Some things, yeah, that's for sure. There's a handful of things that I wouldn't have, or I would have slowed my roll on, because I was getting some good traction at a certain point. But yeah, it's just basically like the stuff that you've been seeing in like the last 2 years basically has been like just all shit that I was actually going to be buying anyway, and stuff that I really enjoyed. Because that's part of my background too. I mean, I've been a collector most of my life, so I mean, it's not like there are things that I was getting specifically just for the channel. There was a few though I was getting a little bit earlier than a lot of other folks. I got the jump on a few of those kind of reviewers and shit. But I don't know. But like my background, like I thought more people would be a little more interested. But the thing is, if I coughed up money to YouTube in order to do it, yeah, the channel probably could have gotten a lot bigger, a lot quicker.
No, sometimes it's just luck of the draw too. Because I know a few people that do stuff very similar to what we do with the collectible pass and what we do for our toy videos, and they've been around for 10+ years, and it's only been in the past maybe 3, maybe at best, that they started finally getting some traction. And there's other people that just show up in the scene, and I don't like cutting down other people, but some of their stuff is like watching paint dry. I'm sorry. Like, if I see a really boring review and it feels like I'm hearing Charlie Brown's teacher talk to me, it's just not a toy review I'm going to stick around to watch. I'm sorry, but somehow some of those videos get crazy views. I'm like, I don't understand how. And like, to me, it's not entertaining. Like Stieg has said it plenty of times. People come to YouTube to either get entertained or to learn something new. And being bored to death, the only thing I'm learning is that I could fall asleep watching YouTube.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. That is a fact.
Yeah, I hear you, Teal, and I've talked about it. I mean, some people deny it still, but yeah, you've seen it too. And yeah, Time Prophet, I know, but I'm making the point that they're still monetizing, whether you see it or not. It's still there. Yeah, lots of problems I cannot talk about on here, but I've written 1,700 words on a new script. Awesome, man. Keep going with that, man. Never stop. Never stop. Never let anybody discourage you either.
Oh, here's the problem though, like the ad blockers. If you have a channel that is monetized, you can't use ad blockers. If you do, they're gonna demonetize you, and they won't let. I think they could even close your main channel. So,
I know at one time they were talking that they would take your Google account and everything away. I mean, wow. And if you're unfortunately, I haven't found a way to untie mine. My original email from it, because I wanted to create just a second one with the Guinea Pig Collective and tie that to YouTube instead. So if they ever did hit me, I wouldn't lose my old email that I've had for years and years and years. But every time I try to attach a new email, it won't let me do it. Even though they say you should be able to, it just, I don't know why it doesn't work. And that's awesome, Time Prophet. Awesome. I'd like to get even one with freaking half that at this point. I hear you, Pop. Cotton, my man, Cotton has freaking gone through the ringer with YouTube with all the accounts that they've closed down on him. They're absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
But let's go ahead. We're going to hit our next topic. Super simple.
What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna?
So obviously, what can they expect to see from you next? What do you have planned? And like, some people come on and they say they have big plans coming up. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I know there is something in particular you were talking about getting back into. You had actually mentioned it earlier in the show. So what's next for Vinnieart?
Well, it's definitely going to be City of Venus too. I've been working on that. I just finished an awesome 2-page spread in the book. I showed some of the guys when we were off air the other night, and they were like, their jaws hit the floor. So expect a whole lot more cool shit like that. I think I'm going to be doing some more art-related stuff. You might see more of like the time-lapse stuff. I'm debating about actually teaching again. There's a couple more courses that I would like to kind of get out there for people, but it's very time-consuming to make those. That's the only thing that's kind of holding me back on it. But yeah, it's going to be more toy reviews, more cool shit with Tommy. But yeah, I'll try to get more guests on as well. There's also, I know, another toy creator who wants me on his channel, so I gotta get in contact with this guy again. Maybe we'll kind of bounce some stuff back and forth. Yeah, and maybe some more guests as well in general. There's a few other people from the convention scene that might be popping on. Some people I've known for a long time. So yeah, in regards to that, yeah, I'd say for the YouTube channel and the Rumble. Trying to think if there was anything else really big. Was there anything in specifically?
Well, I know you were talking about doing more of the art stuff again. Also, one of the things you were mentioning is leaning into like a lot more stuff like Penguin and stuff like that, stuff that we're truly enjoying.
Oh yeah, stuff that we actually need.
So few channels doing that. And Time Prophet says he liked your teaching videos.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I could probably do a better job now since I have a little bit more knowledge about the editing stuff.
Maybe you should do them like Bob Ross. Maybe put on a curly wig and everything.
Well, the thing is, I know the majority of like the first lessons I gave, I didn't have the editing program yet, so I was basically just doing like the screen record. That's like built in from I think Microsoft or some shit, and I was like screen recording, like me drawing and just kind of talking on the fly as well. Yeah, it's like I said, it was a process learning this shit. But yeah, once I got my hands on an editing program, I was able to do like the Hans cockpits and I had some of the news entertainment shit I was putting out there and trying to do it in a little more entertaining way and kind of making fun of some of the fake douchebags who go on Reddit and get their information from there. So I thought that was always kind of fun. But yeah, I want to talk about more of the cool shit, the things that we actually enjoyed. I'm a big fan of Arcane over on Netflix. Never seen or played League of Legends, but that animated series was fantastic. I know the new one's just dropped, so I might be covering a little bit of that. But yeah, I mean, like Penguin, we've been covering that. We got one more to talk about, so we'll do that on Friday.
And what an episode that was!
Yeah. This series was a 10 out of 10 for me. I think they crushed it. Fantastic job.
Vinnie Ross says there's an accident, then that's your effing problem. Soul Assassin, what's going on, buddy? This is the worst piggy dome ever. 2 piggies enter, 1 piggy leaves. Not be friends. If the show weren't free, I'd demand my money back. The pigs are getting a refund together for you right now as we speak. Black jelly beans all the way around filled in the box.
Did he want to see us battle?
Meme says he played some League. It was pretty fun.
Nice. Pretty cool, man. Yeah, were you enjoying it? The series on Netflix? Because like that animation was so gorgeous. I've never seen anything like that before. And they did mix like traditional with the digital stuff and then that kind of painterly feel. That's what really pulled me in. I think the story actually was really good. I wasn't expecting it to be that good. I thought it was going to be a bunch of woke shit, but to my surprise, no, it wasn't. A handful of designs might have came off slightly in that direction. And I know there's a few people who like to scream, "There's too many girls in positions of power in there." But for the story that they told, it made sense for what it is. Like I wasn't deterred by it, or felt like the men were thrown aside because they weren't. The ones that are in there are still in big positions, and yeah, they had extreme violence at least on the first 3 episodes of the new season.
I mean, like I said, I thought the show was okay. I mean, I can't say I was like uber thrilled about it, but like once again, if I don't know a lot of the source material, it's kind of hard for me to get into something because I know nothing about it. So
yeah.
Point of references when you're watching certain things like that really do mean a lot, and especially if you're going to get your time invested in it. So,
yeah. Well, I understand that too. Like for me, I knew nothing about it, and from what I did hear, they said fans were kind of like they were confused why they went with this type of a story because I guess those characters you don't really know that much about them in that game or however it's played. It's not really that heavy with story regarding those characters and shit. So like the world that they built and what they kind of did was pretty impressive. After finding out like it's not exactly something that was in the games. But yeah. Again, I don't really play those type of what is like RPG strategy type shit or something. But yeah, for the show itself and that kind of world, there's kind of glimpses or elements of it that I had in my City of Venus story. So when it came out, I was a little bit pissed and then kind of intrigued by what they were doing. So maybe that's why I got a little bit more of higher hopes for something like that. But it's only 2 seasons anyway, from what I heard.
Meme says, I mean Shyvana, the Lady Dragonkin. End level. She rolled face.
Okay.
What's going on, Gap? Gap After Dark also in the chat. What's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Time Prophet. I do think Vinnieart should do voice acting too. He should have been in the Super Mario movie. It's funny you should mention that. Vinny and I were just talking about a little bit of that earlier. So I did have that thing for the original mini comics from Masters of the Universe that I was talking about. I got to get back and get working on. Unfortunately, we didn't get as far as I wanted to in the reading, just because we had a problem with coordinating everybody to come together to be able to read their parts. So eventually, I think I'll start it up. I think I'll just slim down the cast a little bit, just get the people in that I know they're going to show up and try to roll through it.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
But that should be a lot of fun. So you'd be able to see some of Vinny's voice acting in that. Once I get that
He-Man's going to turn into Mario.
No. But let's go ahead. We're going to get started with the last topic of the night, and this is the long one. This is like anything extra that you want to be able to tell the people out there in the audience why they should be following you, especially about your work with all your books and everything. Like give them like a little bit more breakdowns of what you have in the books and why you think that they should be, jumping on board. What makes you stand out, even though we've already said what makes you stand out from a lot of the other clowns that are out there. But here we go, Vinny. Get ready to take it away.
Fast man. Let me tell you my story, man.
Just the facts.
You got a name. What do they call you?
Jughead.
Jughead. My mother's name was Jughead.
Oh shit! Oh, that was great. Well, my name's Vinnieart, and you could check out all my great stuff over on my channel. But again, I bring a little bit something I think extra to the table from my background in having been a lead designer at McFarlane Toys, worked in comics, all sorts of different things. But again, I'm kind of all over the place because I'm a fan of a lot of things, or I was anyway growing up. So it's if you want to hear more about, again, movies, TV shows, comic books, toys, you name it. I mean, I'm a huge fan of certain video game franchises. I love all that type of stuff. So, and with everyone who comes on my channel, I mean, we got a good crew of people. We kind of rotate on panels on Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So if you want to tune in for that, you're going to see more stuff again regarding artwork, comic books. I think I might review some comics and shit too. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's a little bit of everything. But if you definitely want some high quality artwork, you want, no BS, because we do give it to people straight, we don't really sugarcoat anything. Do we talk highly about the things that we do enjoy? Sure. But we're not afraid to talk about the sour points too on shit. And if it is trash, we'll break into that too. No problem.
Well, I think that's one of the things that's important. Like even some of the stuff that we do like, we are able to still critique the things that we don't like. We don't sit there and blindly just simp for it.
Yeah, exactly. There's too many people that do, and it's very nauseating. But again, those other people, it's because they have other agendas. Who owns stock in something? Who's riding whose coattails? Who's doing the same shit? You know what I mean? There's a lot of that type of stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm too honest to a fault. I'm sure I alienated a lot of people from the industry just because, I don't take shit. I've worked so hard on my craft and everything that I do, when everyone else takes these crazy shortcuts and these cheap things. That's why their quality is always trash. I like to always step it up. So
it's part of taking pride in what you're doing, and I think there's a lot of people they just don't take the pride anymore. And for a lot of them, I would even go so far as it's just a matter of being able to get some dinero for them. They don't even really care about the product they're putting out or the people that are supposed to be receiving it.
Oh yeah, man, yeah. And don't get me wrong, I would love to do better on the channels and everything, because God knows I need the money. Because holy shit, man, there are people that are well off, and I'm nowhere near that. Holy shit, man, it's like every month struggling. Am I going to make rent? It's that type of shit. Because being a freelance artist and kind of running your own comic book company is not the easiest thing in the world. I've never been late on my projects. The one that was closest to being late was Shadow of the Kraken, but that's only because I had gotten COVID. And I was, again, only about a month or a month and a half late.
Well, it wasn't only COVID, but there was also a big paper shortage right before that, too.
Yeah. There was a lot of stupid shit around that time. But I mean, at the height of COVID, when everyone's going, oh, yeah, you know, there's no one printing anything, and bags and boards are scarce. And they're like, no, they weren't. That was all bullshit. The paper shortage was real because it was during the election. And yeah, the printer told me directly that, yeah, they were told to short a lot of the stuff because they were using that to print the ballots. And yeah, so it's amazing how things kind of turned out, to be quite honest. But yeah, man, I don't know. I always try to do the best that I could here for everybody.
No, I think you have. I mean, you've done for every book that I've ever gotten from you, you've done it justice, and you've actually gone above and beyond a few times, even when I didn't even ask you to. But and I do appreciate that. I mean, you know, that's what people do that are friends too. They try to help each other out the best they can, and we're all going through some tough situations, which hopefully are going to be rectified real soon. But Curtis YZ right there, dropping the volume art 3 in the chat. What's going on, Curtis?
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Curtis. Always class act, Curtis. Memes, yeah. Nobody would ever do something for money on the internet. No, they would not.
Just don't go on, Daytona.
Yeah, right. David, that's super correct. We'll get them a lot quicker. DJ Play Nice, what's going on? Say hey and bump the algorithm. Appreciate it, man. I hope that you're having a good one. And Biden invented COVID. Yeah. To stop Vinnieart selling comics. It's official.
Well, it was Fauci, because I remember my first little warning strike thing or whatever. It's because I put that motherfucker on blast after I almost bit it from COVID. You know, you're not supposed to black out from getting a cold. You know.
So Vinny, getting back to the McFarlane thing, give people a little bit of insight. Like, you know, when we talk about the toys, I always put the disclaimer in there. You know, former head lead designer or former lead designer for McFarlane Toys. Give them a little taste of that for some of the people that may not have heard about that.
Yeah. Well, I was almost like right out of high school. I got in a job. Frankie had an idea of kind of filming and sending a tape rather than just, you know, Xerox copies of art and shit like that. Which, I mean, it did stand out because like the guy who ended up, you know, having us come in to do the interview. It wasn't one of the top guys who owned the place, but it was someone who was kind of like going through the mail and shit. And yeah, he saw the tape, he popped it in, wanted to see what was going on. And he was like, holy shit, these are, you know, talented artists and stuff. So yeah, came in for an interview and pretty much stayed. Yeah, it was crazy though too, trying to find a place up there. But yeah, once I got there, yeah, I was designing all sorts of figures and stuff. One of the co-owners of the place. It was basically an art studio that was in New Jersey that we did everything. You know, it was McFarlane's company and all that, but he wasn't overseeing things personally. Later on, he moved that whole studio out to where he was in Tempe, Arizona. But at the time, yeah, we were up in the sticks in Jersey. And yeah, it was wild, man. Like my first designs from like day one was McFarlane's Monsters. Not the one that was like the play set with the little ones, but they were the actual like 7-inch figures. Yeah, and I got to design. The very first one was the Frankenstein piece. So if you guys are happy to get that one, that's like back in 2001-ish, somewhere in there, 2001, 2002. It takes about 9 months, well, it did back then, from drawing stage up until finished product in hand. So yeah, it's pretty much like, you know, having a kid. You know, it's a wild process. But yeah, so when I got in there, I did the Frankenstein, sea creature, had part of a design on the Dracula as well in that. But then like I was doing all sorts of different designs and things. I was also helping with the paint department. So I painted a few figures as well. And I helped out with the guy who basically like he made the sets for the photography. So they had to make like these elaborate kind of things. And if anyone remembers back in the day, like McFarlane had really awesome, like, you know, production shots. And like, let's say he had a samurai figure. So like the guy, like he built like Japanese looking, like part of a Japanese like building and whatnot. things like that. And, you know, they had like the smoke machine and the fog and all that crap, and making it look like they were alive, you know, not just regular, here's a couple of still boring images against a boring backdrop. No, it was like full out. It looked like they were ready to have a battle out on the fields, you know.
And I would say that's
like
probably
that.
one of the things that the guys from NECA took and did right, is they still do that with a lot of their figures. They put like elaborate backdrops and everything behind the figures when they show you the little poses in the back.
Yeah, they do some good shit for sure. Gap After Dark. No, I don't have copies of all my stuff. We were supposed to. And here's another thing where it's kind of like, you know, I got real upset. So there was a guy who was, he had dirt on the two owners. And this guy was basically taking all the comp figures that all the sculptors and all the people who worked on those figures, we were supposed to get free product, and we never got them. This guy would get the boxes, bring them in the basement, label them for himself, and then he would barter around town. We're talking, he'd go to the pizzerias, he'd trade figures that never came out or weren't going to come out until like another 6 months. And basically, yeah, this guy was like, he was running around town doing that. And then the shit that he couldn't barter or trade, he sold. He sold to the local comic shop, and found that out through the sculptors, who then would go to the comic shop to buy the figures they were supposed to get for free at a half price discount. So that's the type of shit we were dealing with. So in the end, yeah, I was like, around Christmas time there, that's when I found out in a big way we were supposed to get all this shit. Because I'm like, weren't we supposed to get like comp copies and shit? Like, you know, no one was really saying anything. Like, oh no, we used to, but it never really happened anymore. And then Todd was like, well, since everyone gets their stuff all the time, I want to do a bigger thing. And like, there were more rare figures or some shit like on a list, and we were supposed to pick from there. And I was like, wait a minute. We were supposed to be getting all of our stuff that we worked on. So I contacted Todd directly, and I told him, I said, we're not getting our product. Contacted the other offices too in Tempe, and I'm like, someone's taking all of our stuff. I broke it down for him. So by the time it kind of got corrected, I had already left though. I did it for the people that were there, because there were a few folks too over like in the not in the mold shop, the fabrication department. Those are the guys who made all the weapons and anything that had to be machined. So they would get like PVC and stuff like that, and they'd cut and reshape, you know, and basically make like again, all the weapons out of plastic and metal and shit like that, for then for them to be molded and casted and all that. So like the sculptors never made the weapons. That was the job of the fabricators. And there was one guy in there from like day one. He had a certain view of me without having talked to me or anything. And then when he saw how I was kind of treating the upper brass, so to speak, and I was kind of like take no shit type of person, always been like that. He pulled me over in one of the rooms over there in the fabrication department. He's like, Vinny, I need to talk to you. I'm like, what's up, man? You need help with? You need me to do turnarounds or something? He's like, no. I want to apologize to you. I was like, for what? He's like, I had a really negative view about you, and I judged you without ever hearing your story or anything about you. And then he shook my hand. He's like, I want to apologize. I want to say, dude, you're one of the most stand-up people I ever fucking met. And, you know, at the time I was like 19 or something. And I was like, wow, holy shit. Because this guy, he was brought to the company. They got him from either Hasbro or Mattel. I forgot which one he worked for. But they lied to him. Lied about the amount of money he was going to make and the bonuses he was supposed to get. And the guy was furious because he uprooted his whole family. He couldn't go back, and he was stuck there. He was in the lease that he was in and all that. And he's one of those guys that you think he could have easily gone postal. Big dude as well. He was like 6'4", 6'5". This guy was like a monster of a dude. But yeah, and he had total respect. And then when I told him too, like what I was doing to try to get people all their figures, like he was like, "Holy shit, man, dude!" Yeah, and he had my back. You know, the rest of the time I was there. And I heard even after I left, there was the guy who was running the fabrication department, who was like, you know, in cahoots with with the two brothers running the place and all that. And he goes, "Oh yeah, now that he's gone, like like he wanted to talk shit on me." So the big dude, he got up and scared the ever living shit out of him. He goes, "If I hear you ever talk negatively about Vinny," he goes, "I'll rip your arms off and I'll beat you to death with them." Dude, the rest of the fabrication department just got up fucking clapping. And that guy couldn't say shit. They go, "Vinny, he went out of his way to try to help us and to make sure we got our free figures that we worked on." He's someone who never just fucking bent over like the rest of you pieces of shit up there. Referring to the guys that were in charge of each of those departments. So I'm like, yeah, man, and it was really nice and refreshing to hear, because we need more people to step up. Because when these folks, I don't give a shit if you're a head of a department or you own the damn company. You don't treat other people like shit. You don't lie to people like that. Because we're working crazy hours in order to get this amazing product out there. And it's got someone's name on it specifically. And I think that's part of the reason why Todd ended up uprooting his company, or that part of it. Because I think he wanted to keep more of an eye on things. Because there were other stories and situations that were coming out that, again, would reflect poorly on him. We'll just leave it at that.
Well, not only that, once you start getting that kind of infestation in your company, it's going to do nothing but expand. And if you're type of person that kind of like, how can we say, whether you're a direct asshole or not, if you just ignore what's going on with your company, you're an asshole that's in charge. So it is all your fault in the end.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You get a lot of those guys that are like that, and they, once it gets to a position where it's untenable, probably the best thing he could do is uproot everything and probably start over with, basically maybe mostly new crew.
Yep, that's for sure. Yeah, it's crazy what the hell happened, man, and how some of these things are run. But then again, what did he do? He mostly outsourced. Now our technology is at that point where it's not hand sculpted anymore. On the tail end of that, they were starting to use like the Gentle Giant machine and all that crap, which is basically like the real scan. Yeah. Exactly, man. Yeah, you don't treat anyone like shit.
What's going on, Parrothead? In case I didn't get out earlier, what's going on, Daytona?
What's up, man? Good seeing you guys.
But there is a piece that just came out recently that's got some of your original sketch work.
Yeah. The his Kickstarter. What did it get up to? Like 1.7 or 1.8 million or some shit like that. Maybe it went more. I don't know. I didn't keep an eye on it, but I have the shield on that medieval spawn. I guess it's one of the ones that got unlocked. All that stuff was going to come with the figure. Let's just be crystal clear about that. He tacked on the numbers after the fact, but so yeah, that huge shield that has like the skull and all that intricate kind of work on it. Yeah, that was my design. Freaking 20 years old, and they're still using my stuff. So that was pretty cool to see. And I did make one of my figures made it to his record-breaking, what was it, 301 or 302 issue of Spawn. One of the variant covers has like the skull splitter, which wasn't even a Spawn, by the way. And they put it on the cover as if it was the Spawn. The Spawn of that line was the medieval one with the battle axe. That was the Spawn of the line. The other one was called the skull splitter.
I'd bring a picture of it, but I'm not seeming to find it right now. I think. Wait a minute. Is this a free bonus accessories? Here, I'll bring this up. I'll see if this is it. Hopefully, this is the right one. Is it that?
Yeah, it's that big shield. Yeah.
Yeah,
that one right there. Yep, that was mine. The original design, I had like a demon face, not the skull. That's the only difference.
See if I can get a bigger. Yeah, there it is.
But yeah, the whole shape of it and the rest of that design, yeah, that's all me. So pretty cool. Pretty good to see. Yeah, what was the campaign on, by the way? What was the number?
I don't know. I just looked up for images.
Gotcha.
I didn't look up under the campaign itself. That's why I had a hard time finding it. Yeah, absolutely, Gap. You don't take shit from anybody. Once you do, they never stop. That's why I've had a lot of falling outs with certain YouTubers and stuff like that because I refuse to take their shit. They'll still talk shit behind the scenes, but unless they're saying it to my face, I really don't care what they're saying because you know what? It's mind over matter. I don't mind because they don't really matter.
That's the truth.
Gav says, Vinny, you're a double whammy. You're a great guy, and you're so fucking talented.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You know, I just you try to put good out there. There's enough people doing horrible things, you know. One less asshole is a good thing.
Time Profits wanted to know: do you sometimes put hidden signatures in your art?
I definitely have. People used to do that when they went to the conventions. Like I used to have the prints all out, and they would try to find where my signature was on it. Nothing was like super hidden. A few things a little bit. Like if I did a portrait, like I didn't want to have like my full name like huge on it. So I don't like want to do like on the lapel of a jacket on one of the portraits. There was a couple of people who used to come by trying to find because sometimes I would put the full name. You know, I do my regular signature, but then I have my full name sometimes in pieces. I used to do shit like that.
I know when I did a few pieces for people, like back when I was drawing all the time, before I got into the mood of if I'm not in the mood to draw, I ain't going to. I had a few where I hid my signature somewhere in there. Like one time, for example, they wanted me to draw Grateful Dead, so they wanted me to draw Jerry Garcia and his guitar player, and do it like real life as best I could. And I thought they looked pretty damn good. The people that I gave it to were incredibly impressed with it. But somewhere in the hair of Garcia, I just hid my initials and shit.
Nice.
So unless you were really looking for it, you would have never seen it. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way,
Soul Assassin, being trollish, I appreciate that, Soul Assassin. Wouldn't have it any other way. Can't be nice. Vinny is less gay than others. What's going on, Frankie?
That's still a win.
Rage in the Cage. What's up?
Hey, Frankie. Oh yeah. By the way, that medieval spawn thing, it did hit 2 million. So
wow.
Over 10,000 backers, almost 11.
And it just kills me that guy just doesn't quality everything. Like,
yeah, I know. It's crazy, man. But yeah, seeing something like that too. Like, again, I've had my issues. You know, Todd's not altogether a bad person. He's done some shitty things, but again, with the business that he's running and all that, like I get most of it. But there's other things. It's like, come on, like there's shit that he should have known or done in a different way.
Not like that AI art thing.
Oh, that was infuriating. That was bullshit. But I said it though. I said the whole thing was a PR stunt. I bet it wasn't even his idea to run the contest.
Probably not.
It's just something they wanted to do to get attention for issue 350, whatever it was.
Soul Assassin. How the hell does a guinea pig draw? Ben is taller than them. Maybe standing each other's shoulders. Have you never seen the way we used to sharpen pencils back in the day? They're tiny. They're teeny tiny, Soul Assassin.
Oh, shit.
Alec Baldwin draws. Oh, no. Hello, Trina. How you doing?
Hey, Trina.
But as far as the art, where I think we nailed most of that down, was there anything else that you wanted to give to the good people out there about why they should be following you, man, if they're not already?
Again, yeah, take a look at some of my work. I mean, if you don't like quality, if you don't like someone who's really doing the best work they could, then yeah, you can follow anyone else. But if you want the top tier stuff, yeah, come on down. We got some really cool shit here. That's for sure. In fact, hold on. I found the issue, by the way, the 301, the record-breaking spawn. Yeah, here is my the figure I designed. This one right here. Again, he's not a spawn, and it's hilarious that there's a mistake like this on here. This was the skull splitter. This was not a spawn. So it shows you Todd don't even know his own product. But yeah, there he is, right in the front. So there, I'm on his record-breaking 301 issue of Spawn. Pretty cool shit to see. And then yeah, this year on his $2 million medieval Spawn campaign. And I'm sitting here freaking scrambling to, make proper dough. Yeah. Funny how that works.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, so head on over to my stuff, man. Yeah, if you haven't, please support my projects. Support all this great artwork. I think you guys are going to love it. In fact, maybe I'll give you guys a teaser of City of Venus, too. I got something really cool to show you.
Thank you again, Curtis. Always appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
And despite all my rage, I am still just a pig in a cage.
Here's I'll give you a teaser. Of the cover of City of Venus too. Well, the line work anyway. It's just a teaser. So we got a little bit of a teaser that's coming your way. So there's a reflection happening here. But so some pretty cool stuff. So like I said, man, we're kicking it up a notch. I think you're gonna love it. I don't want to keep it up too long, but it's gonna be
tremendous.
It's gonna be huge, fantastic. Maybe I'll give you another.
And you're also going bigger on this book, I think you said too, right?
Yeah, I wanted to be closer to 50-something pages. What was the exact number? I think. Hold on, I'm looking for the piece I wanted to show you guys. So I got so many. I got a couple folders with the Venus stuff in it. I'm not sure if I showed that one before. But, I'll zoom in.
Dealer rules. First taste is free. Anything after that costs money.
That's also true. I don't want to give the big reveal. This is part of a 2-page spread, so I'm just going to show you like the close-up. Here's a close-up tease. But yeah, this is part of a 2-page spread, and there's something very large in front of her. So, just a little glimpse of the details and stuff you're going to be seeing. Again, this is a very large 2-page spread. That's it. I'm not going to give you more than that because the image itself is fucking really cool. Man, it sucks. I want to show so much and I can't right now.
Well, you're also a one-man show too, so I mean, I think a lot of people miss out on that. Where a lot of these other people that are doing independent comics, a lot of them have teams. Vinny has himself, and himself, and himself, and he's also working with himself. And then on the management position, he's got himself.
Yeah. Well, we had Frankie wrote the kids' book and co-created and wrote Through the Woods. So, and that's something that we were kind of working on together for a while. And yeah, it's a really awesome project. If you guys haven't gotten it yet, it is on the Shadow of the Kraken campaign. So yeah, if you want that stuff, again, they still ship out the door right away, signed and everything. Through the Woods is both signed by Frankie and myself. So you can jump on all that. Hold on, I'll give you another teaser.
And since Frankie's here, I've said it before on Vinny's too. I mean, even the kids' book, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a fun little read. I mean, granted, it's not as big as some of the other comics that Vinny does, but it's still a fun read, even if you're not a kid. So
that's awesome, man. Yeah, it's good stuff. Like I said, it's a little bit of everything too. And again, I kind of specifically jump around with my books and kind of what I'm working on. Because I have a connected universe that's happening with these, and you're going to see more of those connecting points. Venus is almost like the main book that's kind of going to get more into that stuff. But technically, you don't have to get the pirate book if you don't want to, or it depends on. Again, because I know there's a lot of people oh yeah, I wasn't crazy about pirates, and then the people who did pull the trigger on it, they're like, holy shit, this was awesome! I can't wait for the next one. You sold me on pirate stuff. And I'm like, to me, it means a lot because I know a lot of these companies, and if it's a movie or a show or something, they drop the ball in a lot of those cases, and they get too crazy with it when like they shouldn't, or they're not really playing with the proper stuff. Like me, I want to make sure you're gonna be in that lived-in world of the pirates and all that kind of shit that's going on, and then have those kind of twists. But it's grounded enough where it's not going to throw you completely off when you do see the other stuff coming. And again, I'm going to have more historical things I wanted to put in there, because like issue 2, when I get back to that, there's something very specific, like with what I'm going to open with, that it's going to throw them for a loop too. Like, oh, wait a minute, I thought this was specifically a pirate book, and it is, but there's an element in the story that there's a deeper backstory with it, and I'm going to get into that a little bit, and you'll see how more things kind of connect. And then like Venus is going to have some really big twists and turns throughout it. Even how I started, people were like, oh, it's just a zombie book. No, it's not. Those were failed experiments. They're not technically zombies. They have an appearance of that, and there's definitely deterioration that happened to them and stuff like that. But again, it's like the powers that be. They were doing experiments to prolong their own lives. So they used the regular people as guinea pigs, and there's a lot of crazy shit that happened from that, and I kind of want to show more of that world. Like I said, you'll see the other stuff. I said it so far into the future so I could play with these other elements, because if we had all these different wars throughout the centuries, you're going to see different type of things, different type of weaponry, machinery, who use bioweapons in certain wars and shit, things of that nature. So you're going to see a little bit of everything kind of popping up in regards to some of the surprises. But again, it's a story. It's going to have a little bit more to chew on than people might have originally thought, and it's like, could this world be saved? Because essentially City of Venus is like, if the bad guys won, essentially, and like what would happen to the world, and it's like the extreme of it. They like literally separated themselves from the lower class. But not only that, they started gathering them up and doing all their tests and doing whatever the hell they wanted, wiping out most of the population, but then keeping certain numbers alive so that they could do this kind of shit. And then we got to a point where it's like, it's so bleak, and the ones who are kind of surviving, they're hiding, and it's not many of them. It's a very bleak kind of world. But could we turn this around at any point? Is the main character going to be able to save them, or damn the rest of this world? And is something else going to happen that kind of resets everything? It's certain things I'm kind of playing with in terms of story. And then you're going to see the other stuff with the main characters, and the other cool surprises. And there's a lot. There's a lot. I'm trying to be a little bit more vague about things, because again, I don't like spoilers when I'm reading shit. Like, I just want to kind of, when I get a book, like, I know some people go right to the end and they want to see like how many pages and everything. No, I want to read it, make sure it's going to be top quality, and I want to have that full experience of what's going on. And then if it, like in terms of the shit that I used to pick up, I'm like, oh yeah, if it sucked, then I'll be really pissed and probably like cancel shit.
Here's a question I have for you. I've done a little writing on my own. Unfortunately, I have a few things that I've been working on for God knows how many years that I just never completely finished, because I get like that typical writer's block thing. So I get into a certain point and I just don't. I know where I want to go afterwards. I just don't know how to get to that point in the story, because I'm at a really weird point in my story that I was writing. So, do you ever, when you're doing these, do you already have an end goal in mind for your books, or is it kind of open-ended and you're just going where the story takes you at the time?
I have a little bit of both. With Venus, I have a plan, and like even like how this one's ending and what I'm going to do. But I gave myself enough leeway, so if I wanted to change it or add a couple of other elements, I definitely could. Because this one, there's a certain point I could have stopped and kind of had it done a little bit earlier, but I wanted it to be a little bit bigger and have other elements put in there. So, but like the pirate one, that one I wanted to be a little bit more open-ended to a certain degree, but like I know where I'm going with it. So it might be like the next issue, I have key points, and as long as I hit those points, I'll feel some more satisfied, and then have like a cool cliffhanger for folks. Other ones I have more a definitive kind of like, oh yeah, I know where this one's going to end. because there's a couple other things I've been writing or plotting out some other projects, and there's a couple that's just like a one shot, and I know exactly what I want to have in there. I have the beginning, I have the ending, and in the middle, there's enough again where I could put in a couple of other really cool things that'll be a little more over the top, a little more action packed for everybody. So, yeah, a little bit of everything. It kind of depends on the story and like which project I'm working on.
Awesome. Anything else that you have for the fine folks out there, Vinny?
Well, there is another project that's going to be after City of Venus too, but that one's with Frankie, and that one is that's more of a one shot. Story wise, that's like 98% his. I'm doing the artwork and the designs for the characters and shit, and like that's going to be a really cool project too. But like I said, there is a lot more that's going to be coming. And it's a beautiful thing, man. I love working on all this stuff. I want to be able to have more freedom working on this stuff because, like, again, the more money that these projects make, the more time I can devote strictly to them. There are reasons why I didn't have Venus 2 out yet, and I'm not just going to run a campaign and then leave people, hanging and waiting years. I'm not pulling them scams that these other shitty fucking creators have done. I want to make sure that the book is either 90% done or just about ready to go before I build and start the campaign. Because again, I want to be able to fulfill like immediately. That's my goal with this stuff. As long as I could do that, I'm going to do that. But I know it's not always easy. And, if anything changes, I'll let you guys know too. If I do got to launch something sooner, I'll give you a heads up on that. But as it is right now, yeah. I've done a couple of covers and stuff for other indie guys and stuff like that. The thing is, like, if it's more of like a little bit more mainstream, even if it's not the big two, like I did hack and slash covers. I did a few things like that. That was Image Comics, but yeah, for the most part. A lot of people, they like their little cliques and their little circles because the industry is getting smaller and smaller. The other indie folks, kind of same deal. When I exposed the gay frog and all that bullshit, like there's a lot of them that were still trying to suck up to him, and then later got burned by him. And then what happened is like a lot of people just kind of fractioned off on their own. So if you're not kind of friendly with certain people, or you're just a little bit kind of okay with them, but you don't really communicate much, then yeah, no one's helping out anybody anymore. You'll have just a few pockets of people here and there. That's why. What is the fish rots from the head, and that's the sad fact of it. So like a lot of us are struggling now to get these projects done and out. There's a lot of people who just completely turned away from it because they're like, yeah, there's no money in it anymore. These people ruined it. It's fucking sad is what it is. Yeah, gay frogs are disgusting. Yeah, you should go check out my I got a couple of YouTube videos. Enough is Enough, I think is the title of one of them. Then the live stream, you'll see Sam Jackson's face. Yeah, I suggest watching those. So the short is more of like the 15 minutes or so, and then the other one is like an hour or somewhere around there, 40-something minutes. But yeah, I explain a lot of the shit that these people did and what they pulled, and how they hurt a whole lot of creators, and I'm keeping those up there.
Well, we got a message for the gay frog for EVS. Don't go licking toilet bowls. Don't go licking toilet bowls.
Oh shit.
But Vinny, I guess that is it, sir.
Yeah, man.
We have gone through the rabbit hole of everything that we possibly could as far as the online stuff, as far as your creative aspect of what you've been doing, what you're currently doing, and what we're going to wind up seeing from you in the future. My friend, thank you so much for coming on here. And I want to thank all the people that have been hanging out in the chat, learning a little bit more about you, because really that's what this show is all about. Let more people know exactly what you've been doing, what you've got going on, to be able to get them a little bit more excited to invest their time into some of the things that you're putting out there. And like I've said before, guys, there's no better way to be able to rate somebody's ability to create something that you're going to enjoy than to listen to other people that have already gotten it. And I can tell you, I've got just about everything of Vinny's except his very first artwork, the very first, we're calling that one number 0. It is the only one I don't have. I have all of his other things, all his other projects, and I've enjoyed every last one of them. Many of them I reread over and over again. Like Through the Woods was like the first one I kept rereading over and over again. I really just loved how that story flowed right to the end. And then I got that pirate book, and I was like, damn, that thing is amazing. Really enjoyed City of Venus, the first one, Dead City too. Just amazing stuff that this guy's putting out there. The art books are incredibly sick. Some of the detailed work that he's done in there, including one that he's done for the pigs that he put in there too. I mean, not to mention the work that he did for the contest with Spawn and Violator, the clown version of Violator, even though you can see the shadow in the background if you're paying attention. But amazing stuff that this guy does. I mean, if you're still on the fence wondering or not if you're going to be able to even get the project, because I know some of you have been burned by other creators, believe me, you are going to get it if you pay for it. Not like some of these other people like Liam Gay, who doesn't deliver either. All these son of a bitches, the pig is waiting for his products that I paid for. You either deliver that shit, or I'm just going to start putting you on blast. You hear that, Orange Tyrant? I really don't give a shit. Screw you, dude. You took my money almost 3 years ago at this point. I want my motherfucking book. Screw you. But Vinny does deliver. Chris Fisk delivers. Adega Outlaw delivers. There's Brian Kriskow. There's another guy. You talk about somebody going back, and if there was a problem with one of the books that I ordered, I reached out to him. And I'm so sorry, dude. I'm going to correct that immediately, and he did. And he went above and beyond the correction. He didn't need to, but he did it anyway because he felt bad because I had waited an extra amount of time to get one of the books. And I was like, dude, I just want to correct it, and that's what he did. But he did it in spades, and that's what you want to get from somebody you're investing your money in. So.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, and again, you have all the right in the world to say whatever you want about all that stuff, because I'm in the same boat too. I get really pissed when I haven't received my product that I paid for. I get super fucking pissed, and there is no excuse at this point, you know. I've helped people to make sure that they got their shit done on time as well, or save their projects multiple times, and if their shit still hasn't been released, there's no excuse for that. It's wild how some people treat the fans, or they jump onto other projects instead of getting what they had to out and done and in your hands. It's pretty infuriating, But again, Tommy, you were talking about the piece on it. I figured let me just pull it up.
Yeah, man, freaking those are awesome. I remember when you were sending the early sketchworks, just the outlines for it, I was like, dude, that looks amazing. That looks amazing. I mean, I still say you should have hit a can of Tuda somewhere in the background in that sewer, but that's just me.
Oh shit, that could have worked. Oh man, but yeah, it's put the work in. There's a lot of people that don't. I always say, man, I say these people go half-assed. I say go full-ass each and every time.
Damn right. Don't leave nothing to chance. So Sasson, I suggest you make a guinea pig book for kids. 1 guinea, 2 guinea, 3 guinea. To see more piggies, send money to Vinny. Eventually, hopefully, I will get more of the artwork out. My daughter did send a bunch more pages in, or revised artwork and everything too. It's stuff I gotta pull off my computer and set them all in order and see all the corrections she's made and everything. Move forward on that guinea pig book. One of these days, we're gonna get that thing done. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's taking that long. But then again, Chris Fisk is having the same problem right now. I mean, tied up with artists and everything. I completely understand. Of course, the cost variance for me and Chris is substantial as far as that's concerned. Which that's not my forte to get into. But yeah, I put out quite a bit of money as far as what I've got going so far. And yeah, I mean, for what my daughter has done, though, man, I am greatly appreciative of it, and I hope that she's able to get it done. It's just been so long. I just want to get this project done. I got other projects I got to finish too, but love to get that thing done and get it finally out there. Yeah, here is another one of your earlier pieces.
Yeah, I wanted to show that too for folks. Again, we got some beautiful stuff in the art books. So if you haven't yet, please jump on it. There's only 35 copies left, by the way. It's on the Volume 3 campaign. I moved it over there. This was the 140-page book. So yeah, if you haven't gotten it yet, jump on it. And if you do have Volumes 1 and 2, this is the remaster of those two, plus an additional 30 pages of content. So like I said, it's well worth it, and it ships immediately. So yeah, there's plenty of nice plot right here. That's for sure.
Curtis, thank you. Curtis also dropping your Printify on there as well. Appreciate
Sweet.
that,
Thanks,
Curtis,
man.
man. Curtis, man,
Yeah.
always on point.
I
One of
got
these
the
days,
fourth wall as well. That one's probably better. There's more stuff on that one.
I know you said you recently just got the prints back, and you said they look pretty good, and that makes me excited because I've got some stuff on there that I would definitely want to get printed out and see how it all turned out.
Yeah, I got
especially
the
after SE merch like fell apart on me.
That sucks.
It makes me so mad. I love that the Paul's one I did with Cringer, and I wear that one to death, and he's got no eyes anymore on it.
Oh man, that's
best part of waking up. Yeah, right. All right, and guys, I'd like to thank all you for hanging out with us. Yeah, there we go. Fourth wall. Most of the links are in the description. I don't remember if I got the fourth wall into the description. I really got to fix that. I think there might be a few things I got to fix in that.
I think I got to get on my link tree as well. I'm behind on so much stuff because again, I'm juggling too many things right now. I'm drawing, inking, coloring, writing, doing all the stuff like that, doing the tour reviews. There's a lot that's been going on. But yeah, not that one. I'm sorry. The Alice one. I just got this one back. I got it washed already too, and it holds, like, the image looks absolutely beautiful. Nothing got destroyed or anything like that. Great quality. And I do have the Mela Art World logo on the sleeve as well. So authentic merchandise. That's what we got. We have the pirate one too. We got Shadow of the Kraken available. We have the Through the Woods. Because a lot of us got stabbed in the back, so that's on the back of the shirt. The axe. It's a cup on the front. And it's on the hoodie as well. So the hoodie, you'll have the Mela Art World on the front, and then on the back, you can see that turned out really nice. I'm gonna have to get myself a copy of this too at some point soon. But beautiful stuff. So I want to put more on here. It's just it's going to take me a minute to get some more things up there.
Gap, that could be whatever you want it to be.
Well, that's kind of a little bit of the joke, right? The mushroom there is the eat me, drink me, because we know that it's attached to that whole story of what makes her grow or shrink. So it's a little cheeky.
Might make the mushroom grow or shrink too. We don't know.
Exactly. I mean, that's kind of part of it, right? That's the fun of that piece.
Guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope you learned a little bit more about Vinny, and I really do hope that you check out some of his merch. Check out his books, man, if you haven't already. Thank you for being here. You could have spent your time anywhere, but you chose to spend it here with us and the collective, the Mean Old Nasty Collective. It really does mean a lot, man. We're getting close to the holiday seasons, man. I tell you, it's going to be a special time of year, I think, this year. I think this is going to be a good one, and I'm looking forward to every step along the way. Guys, have a good one, and we will catch you next time. Later, y'all.
Peace.
Get the bitch, you should spend. Assimilated, but you don't know it yet. Attacking us is not very wise. Our army's growing if we see through your lies. What we are looking at, good and evil, right and wrong. It's a big world order. A big world order. A big world order. A big world order. Somebody's gonna wind up getting their toes nibbled off in here. A big world order. 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 Better hide your toes as we're coming for. A big world order. A big world order. A big world order.